Every trader has a rule, a promise whispered to themselves in the quiet before the open, a vow to stay patient, disciplined, in control. But the market doesn't test your plan, it tests your mind. And sometimes it only takes one chart, one green candle, one spark of excitement to turn awareness into impulse. This is the story of that moment, the space between logic and emotion, between rules and reaction, between the trader you want to be and the one who takes over when the screen starts glowing green. This isn't about a ticker, it's about the mind that trades it. Because every chart is just a reflection and every trade a mirror. This is case your '07 large cap gap up chasing versus rules. This is mind over markets. It starts with silence, the kind of morning where the screens glow before the sun rises, coffee still steaming, the hum of the monitors the only sound in the room. He sits there calm, focused, ready, charts open, watch list clean. The plan simple, no rush, no noise, just structure. He's done this hundreds of times before, every step rehearsed. The rules are clear, written in his own handwriting beside the keyboard. Wait for confirmation. Don't chase. Size by plan. Respect the stop. For a moment, everything feels aligned, discipline, focus, control. The kind of morning where you can almost believe that nothing could go wrong. And then the alert hits. A large cap name, one of the giants gapping up pre-market. On news. Strong volume. Beautiful structure. It's everything traders dream about: clean momentum, tight spread liquidity that breathes. His pulse quickens, not from greed but recognition. This is the one he thinks. This could move. He studies the chart, zooms out, checks levels, reads the tape, watches the candles print. His plan says too extended. Wait for the pullback. And he agrees. He knows what to do. But the stock keeps rising, point by point, tick by tick. And slowly something begins to shift. The calm fades. The silence starts to hum again, but this time inside his chest. He watches the tape tighten. Another green candle, then another. The move is accelerating. He tells himself it's fine, it'll pull back, it has to, but it doesn't. And now the space between logic and impulse starts to close. The rules on his notepad are still there, but they're no longer instructions, they're obstacles. Something deeper takes over, not thought, not plan, a pulse. It's the same feeling every trader knows, the friction between what you know and what you feel. The internal whisper that starts soft, then louder. Don't miss it. He opens the order window not to enter, just to prepare, he tells himself. Just in case. But he knows that's not true. He's already in the trade emotionally. The price spikes again. Chat rooms light up, Twitter buzzes, green everywhere, momentum, energy, noise. He feels the weight of opportunity pressing against his patience. His plan says wait, but the market says now. He hovers the mouse, cursor shaking slightly. That small hesitation before every broken rule. It's not about the setup anymore, it's about identity. Because deep down the thought forms quietly. What if this is the move I miss? What if this is the one that proves I've grown past hesitation? He's not chasing profit. He's chasing validation, so he clicks. Small size, just a starter. It's fine, he tells himself. It's part of the process. He watches the price flicker green, and for a moment his body rewards him. Dopamine, relief, that tiny chemical victory that feels like clarity. But it's not clarity. It's chemistry. He adds again. A little more this time. The price spikes, adrenaline rises, and the voice inside him shifts from careful to confident. He tells himself he's reading momentum. He tells himself this is skill, but what he's really reading is emotion disguised as opportunity. The chart climbs. The room feels smaller, the noise in his head louder. Every second, the illusion of control grows stronger and weaker. He glances at his notepad. The words look faded now. Wait. Don't chase. size by plan. He knows he's breaking it. He knows. But knowing isn't the same as stopping. That's the paradox of trading. Awareness doesn't always equal control. Sometimes you watch yourself make the mistake in slow motion. You see the rule. You feel it break. And you keep going anyway. He adds again, full size now. Heartbeat sync to the candle. Every tick a pulse. Every move a breath. The gap up continues. He's green. It's working. And the voice inside says, see, you were right to trust your instinct. That's how the spiral begins, not from loss, but from success. Because the worst trades don't start with fear. They start with confidence. For a moment, everything feels perfect again. The same calm he had before the open, but synthetic now. Chemically engineered by dopamine, not discipline. And somewhere deep down, a quiet awareness still watches. It knows this isn't alignment, it's attachment. But it stays quiet. Because ego doesn't listen to whispers. The market opens wider. More traders join the move. Volume spikes. He's in full, and for a few fleeting seconds it feels like mastery. Then the pause. The first red candle. Just a small one. He tells himself it's healthy. Normal retracement. Still strong. But something inside shifts again, the same tension just inverted. The silence of focus becomes the silence before impact. And in that quiet space between belief and reality, a single thought surfaces, soft, familiar, inevitable. I broke my rule again. The second candle forms, red again, then another. He tells himself it's nothing, just noise. Strong stocks pull back before they go higher, he whispers. But inside, he already knows the story has changed. The screens feel louder, the room smaller. Every flicker of price feels personal now. He's no longer watching the market. He's defending himself from it. He adds again, small to average down. Just a little, to prove he still believes, to show he's still in control. But belief isn't control. It's attachment pretending to be confidence. Each tick against him feels like judgment. Each micro bounce feels like forgiveness. He's no longer trading probabilities, he's trading emotions. The rulebook sits on the desk beside him, silent, irrelevant, its words, like old promises he no longer keeps. There's a strange comfort in the chase. It feels alive, it feels like action. And action feels like safety. He can't stand still anymore, not while others are winning, not while the chart is moving without him. That's the illusion every trader falls for, the belief that motion equals meaning, that doing something means you're not losing. But sometimes the fastest way to lose is to move. His breathing shortens, mouse clicks faster, heart beats in rhythm with every tick. He's not thinking now, he's reacting. A feedback loop between chart and chemistry. Adrenaline turns logic into instinct. Dopamine turns risk into reward. Cortisol turns silence into threat. He's trapped in the oldest human code fight, flight, or click. Another red candle, larger this time. The profit evaporates. He tells himself it'll bounce. It always does. But the tone in his voice has changed. It's thinner, less belief, more begging. The loss grows. His body stiffens. He leans closer to the screen, as if proximity could change reality. When the chart finally breaks, it's fast, violent, unforgiving. A single flush that erases the illusion of control. He freezes. The same silence from the morning returns, but heavier now. The quiet after chaos. He stares at the numbers, not really seeing them, just watching the color red expand like a stain on his awareness. Shame creeps in, not just for the loss, but for the recognition. He's been here before. Different ticker, same pattern. And he promised himself last time that it would never happen again. There's a phrase that echoes in his mind, impulse over integrity. He remembers hearing it somewhere, maybe reading it in a book, maybe writing it himself. But right now it's not a phrase, it's a mirror. He's looking at the version of himself that traded from need instead of knowledge. The version that confuses excitement with edge. And in that reflection, he realizes the hardest truth of trading. You don't lose when you're wrong. You lose when you can't stop being right. He sits back, hands off the keyboard, breathing shallow, charts still moving without him. The urge to re-enter pulses like an ache. Maybe I can get it back. Maybe I can fix it. That's the addiction not to money but to closure. The brain wants to end the story cleanly to prove it still has control, but control was never the point. Awareness was, and awareness is gone. He lowers his head, eyes closed. The adrenaline still hums under his skin. He's not thinking of the loss anymore. He's thinking of the moment he crossed the line, the moment patience became pressure, the moment belief became behavior. It's small, almost invisible. The shift happens inside long before the chart moves. That's what makes it dangerous. Because it doesn't feel like breaking a rule. It feels like bending it just a little, just this once. He remembers writing those rules, late at night, after another loss just like this one. He wrote them with clarity, with conviction, with calm. And now in the heat of the moment, he watched himself betray that calm. He didn't forget the rules. He ignored them, not out of arrogance, out of chemistry. The truth of trading psychology isn't that traders lack discipline. It's that they underestimate how powerful emotion becomes once risk enters the bloodstream. Knowledge lives in the mind. Discipline lives in the body. And when the body floods with adrenaline, the mind goes quiet. That's why awareness matters, because awareness is the only thing that can speak louder than chemistry. He exhales, long, slow, deliberate, the kind of breath you take when you finally stop fighting reality. The urge to re-enter fades a little, the noise softens, and in that quiet, he feels something else, not relief, not regret, understanding, a realization forming. I didn't break the rule because I'm weak. I broke it because I was human. And being human is what makes the game so hard. For the first time that morning, he looks away from the screen. The light feels different now. The same room, but heavier, realer. He glances at his notepad again, those 4 words beside the keyboard. Wait. Don't chase. Size by plan. Respect the stop. He traces them with his finger not to memorize them, but to remember why he wrote them. Not as punishment, as protection. Rules are not chains, they're reminders, boundaries that keep you inside awareness. And awareness is the only edge that never expires. The loss is over, but it doesn't feel over. The numbers have stopped moving, yet something inside him still does a faint vibration that won't go away. He closes the position, but the trade remains open in his mind. He sits there staring at the empty chart, not at the price, but at the space where control used to be. The silence is thick, heavy, uncomfortable. It's not the silence of calm, it's the silence of realization. He leans back in his chair, breath shallow, hands motionless. The adrenaline still lingers. It always does. It's strange how quiet a room can be after chaos leaves it. The same monitors glow, the same desk, the same coffee, the same man, but something invisible has shifted. The chart didn't change him. The chase did. He opens his journal. The words blur for a moment. His mind resists, doesn't want to write, because writing means admitting. He stares at the blank page until the thoughts start to form. I broke the rule again. I knew better, but I wanted to feel right. Each line a confession, each word a mirror. It's not self-punishment, it's self-honesty. He writes slowly, like he's relearning his own mind. The problem isn't the market. The problem is the moment I stop being aware. He pauses, lets the sentence sit, reads it again. Awareness. That's the missing trade. Not the entry, not the exit. The moment between. That's where the break always happens, the gap between knowing and doing. He remembers how it felt right before he clicked the button. The tension, the pulse, the whisper. He didn't choose consciously. He reacted chemically. That's what traders never talk about. They talk about setups and stops, but not about the biology that hijacks the mind. He smiles faintly bitter, but knowing. Trading isn't a battle with charts. It's a negotiation with the nervous system. He breathes again long and steady. For the first time since the loss, his body feels heavier, grounded. There's a strange peace in honesty. The loss still hurts, but it's clean now, because what's been named no longer controls you. He looks back at the notepad, those rules again. They seem smaller than they did this morning, but deeper now. They're not just guidelines, they're promises. He reads them softly like a mantra. Wait. Don't chase. Size by plan. Respect the stop. Simple, unimpressive, but sacred. They're the thin line between clarity and chaos. Most traders think discipline means control, but control is fragile. It shatters under emotion. True discipline is awareness. It's remembering yourself in the moment you're most likely to forget. He understands that now, and that understanding didn't come from a win. It came from pain. Pain, the most honest teacher in the market. He closes the journal. The room is still dim, but softer now. The edge is gone. In its place, a quiet acceptance. He doesn't feel like quitting. He doesn't feel like chasing. He just feels awake. That's the real victory, not recovery, but recognition. He glances back at the chart one last time. The stock has moved on, doing what it always does, indifferent, neutral, a mirror reflecting whoever looks at it. He smiles not at the price, but at the lesson it carried. The market never punishes you. It only reveals you. He stands stretching his back, the air finally still again. Tomorrow there will be another gap up, another setup, another test. But something in him will be different. Not because he changed the rules, because he finally understood why they exist. Rules are not cages. They are boundaries of awareness. They are the edges of sanity in a game designed to exploit emotion. He walks away from the desk, the glow of the monitors fading behind him, each step lighter, each breath quieter. He knows the urge will come again, the whisper, the pulse, the invitation to chase. But next time, he'll recognize it sooner. He'll see the trap before he steps into it. That's growth in trading, not perfection, but earlier awareness. He pours another cup of coffee, not to restart the session, but to mark the ending. Steam rises from the mug like the last trace of the morning's chaos. He watches it fade and thinks, this is what the market teaches, not profits, but presence. The scene fades with his reflection in the window. Outside, the day is just beginning. The noise will return, the charts will move, the stories will repeat. But inside, he's quieter now, grounded, balanced. Not because he's learned to predict, but because he's learned to pause. Awareness, that's the real trade. The one that pays every day you remember to take it. He looks once more at the words on his notepad and smiles. Wait, don't chase. Size by plan. Respect the stop? Simple words. Eternal lessons. Written not on paper but into experience. The chart is gone now. The loss is closed. But the lesson remains. Because the market doesn't punish mistakes, it reveals them. Every chase, every impulse, every broken rule isn't a failure of knowledge. It's a moment of forgetting awareness, forgetting presence, forgetting that the real edge was never the setup, but the state of mind. Rules are not limits. They are the language of clarity. They exist to protect the trader from the chaos inside the trade. So the next time your heart starts to race, when the chart begins to run and the urge to click feels louder than your plan, pause. Remember, awareness always comes before action, because mastery in trading isn't built in the moments you win, it's built in the moments you resist. This is mind over markets, where psychology becomes practice, and every trade begins with awareness.